that, how about a margarita? Get Upside Barn Lounge and join the best club in town. Flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margarita top basket. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Barn Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. Hope the weekend was good. Had an enjoyable Saturday, especially for the spring game, as obviously the Huskers had their annual match to see what the 15 practices, what has happened throughout those 15 practices. Obviously, a little more excitement in the air. It was dimmed maybe a little bit just from the weather, but also excitement in the air because of Matt Rule having his first chance to coach in Memorial Stadium in front of a group of people. Nick Sainert, Rico joining you. This is the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket. Rico, what's up?
Hello.
How's it going? The weekend?
The weekend was fantastic.
Good. We even hung out on Saturday a little bit.
We did just a little bit. We had
not too much.
We had the pregame show. Well, hold on. I went to a Stars game.
Yes.
We had the pregame show. The Knicks won. I went to a softball game. It was great. It was a
full
fantastic
weekend. It was a full weekend. As
Amazing.
always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sartor Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today, as well as Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. If you're an Allo subscriber, channel 951 is where you need to go. And you need to, because we have a really special guest in here to kick things off. We're coming at you hot on a Monday with a great guest lineup. And first we start with a team that is an organization that is preparing for a playoff game tonight. We have the president of the Lincoln Stars, Lori Crocker, with us. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Awesome. Yeah. So before we dive into talking about tonight's game against Des Moines, we need to grade DP's puck drop, because DP dropped the puck on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody that's been to obviously a plethora of Stars games, where does it rank? Give it a grade, a rating, 1 out of 10. DP's not in the station right now, so you can be completely honest.
As my doctor has told us, sometimes, babies are ugly. You can't tell them that, but you can be honest here.
I can be honest. Oh, I mean, it's a good, at least 8 out of 10.
Okay. Let's hope DP's okay with that. Maybe you get a text from DP coming up.
Maybe.
He's been to a hockey game or two.
He'll never have me back again.
Yeah, exactly.
He's seen puck drops. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we talk about tonight, I mean, just Lori, talk about this season overall, because it's been a pretty successful season. Obviously, maybe these last 2 games against Tri-City didn't go the way you guys wanted them to, but you still found yourselves in the playoffs, and there's some important games coming up. Talk about this season overall and just kind of the atmosphere around the Icebox.
Well, I mean, it was a really good season overall, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We were just 1 point out of second on Friday, so it was kind of an important game Friday. It didn't happen, but that's okay. We're still locked in. We're still in playoffs, and we have a really good chance of making a really good run, which I think we will.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the important part. The atmosphere is a big part of these boys.
Yeah.
You can really tell they feed off of the buzz. So it's important that we get a lot of fans out there today and tomorrow. And I know it's Monday and I know it's Tuesday, but what are you doing on a Monday and Tuesday night? So get out there, come out here and cheer these boys on, because they need it and they're ready to go.
Well, and tentatively, I'm not tentatively. I am going tomorrow night.
You're gonna go?
I'm going to game 2. So hopefully it's the clinching game to move on to the next round, because if, for the people that don't know, it's best of 3 here in the first round.
Correct. First 2 rounds are best of 3 at the higher seed. So we play Monday, Tuesday. We're just going to win.
Yep.
So then we'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, and then head to probably Waterloo.
Okay, so
Perfect.
So this is kind of your last chance for this season to see the Stars, because even if they do win, which we expect them to, we hope they do, in this first series, they're going to have to go on the road more than likely.
Yep. Then we'll just win round 2, and then
Okay.
we'll come back. And
Okay.
We'll have some
Oh,
home
perfect.
games.
So then
There
you
you
will
go.
have home
Yep.
games.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
good stuff then. So,
Yeah.
but either way, still come out to support the Stars. You mentioned that fan attendance actually sometimes dips in the playoffs,
It does.
and
Yeah.
that just seems so backwards.
What is
I
going
know.
on?
It is really backwards. I don't understand it because it's like now this is go
Yeah.
time. We need you get here. But I don't know. The last couple of years we've ended up in that Monday, Tuesday. We have one day to
Mhm.
prepare. It's like we don't know where we're at, and then we have Sunday, and then we play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I get it. People are busy. It's spring. Weather's getting better.
Yeah.
All those things. I think kids have baseball.
Mhm.
So I don't want to make excuses, but it's been challenging in the years past. So hopefully this year it's a little different and we
Mhm.
keep getting those big crowds.
If you consider yourself a Lincoln Stars fan and you're not going to playoff hockey, what are you doing?
Right.
What kind of fan do you call yourself?
Exactly.
I was there on Friday. It was amazing. It was fantastic.
Well-
The place was loud. People were cheering. Again, I haven't been to that many Lincoln Stars games, but that was fantastic. An amazing atmosphere. And I think that it should be even better in the playoffs. I mean, this is when it gets really intense.
Yes.
I mean, you're playing for something. Come
I
on.
know.
What are
I
you
mean,
doing,
that's
fans?
what I mean. We're playing for it all here. And so it's like it's been a long time since the Stars have
Mhm.
really made it since past, I don't know, round 2. I don't even
Yeah.
I have to go back and look, but it's been, I mean, I've been here 6 years and last year we made playoffs, lost out in round 1. So I mean, let's get a little farther this time.
If you need a note from your boss, I'm sure we can print out a couple of things.
100%.
Stop by here. We'll get Lori to sign them. We'll get DP to sign them.
Get a couple
So then-
graphics going.
Yeah, we'll get some graphics going.
Right.
It'll be like, please excuse me, I'm going to be late on Tuesday, possibly. It won't be Wednesday because they'll be
We're
winning.
just gonna
You might be late Wednesday because you're celebrating the clinching game on Tuesday
Right.
night.
Of
So
course.
we'll get you some notes to give to your boss.
Now one big thing. I mean, how much are they costing?
$10.
Bingo.
I mean,
Simple.
$10 for playoff hockey.
Exactly.
And I mean, you guys, listeners have heard some of the players. Obviously, we have the Lincoln Stars show on our station with Joel and head coach Rocky Russo. And normally they bring in a player as well. So, I mean, you should be and feel like you are connected with the Lincoln Stars. That's our goal. So spend the $10 per ticket and go out to the Icebox. Lori, what makes the Icebox so special? Because it's when you walk in, there's like this feeling of like, this would be intimidating. Every time I go in there, I'm like, this place would be intimidating to come in and play because it gets really loud.
It does. And, even if we're not full, it's really loud. I think that is the best thing about the Icebox. I've gone to a lot of games in a lot of places, a lot of away games. And, you can feel like the energy in some places and the vibes that you get. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like the Icebox, and our fans are incredible, which is why I want them there because they are loud. Even if we're not sold out, they really bring the energy, and you can tell the boys like feed off it. They just get the energy going in there, and it makes a difference. So it is. Anyone will say it. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so loud in Lincoln every time we go.
It seems so cool. And we keep talking about the atmosphere, and I feel like the Icebox sort of, number one, hockey is starting to grow and more, especially in Lincoln. Like you're starting to hear a lot more regarding the Lincoln Stars in Lincoln, and we're obviously thrilled to be a part of it. But I think when we always think atmosphere in Lincoln, it's always like, all right, Memorial Stadium, Pinnacle Bank Arena. Icebox doesn't really get talked about a whole lot unless you're kind of in that hockey circle. And I think it's slowly starting to change, though, because not only I've started going to more games. Rico, you saw it on Friday. It's a fun place to be.
Like the city of Lincoln puts on for their sports teams, whether it be the college or the Lincoln Stars or what have you. So fill up the Icebox.
Right.
Make it loud. Be proud. Help the Lincoln Stars make it to the second round because you're going to be gone for a little bit.
We also have beer.
Yeah, there's
Bingo.
also beer.
I mean,
They don't have that at Memorial Stadium.
No,
we don't have to talk about that.
So-
Which I mean, you guys have throughout the entire season promotional nights. There's just great promotional nights and giving fans just another reason to come on out. So we get a text, Lori, from Chase B that says, Nick, you should ask her about the goalie from Sioux Falls that we scarred from ever playing again because we kept chanting his name over and over again. That's awesome. That is awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about that. As a player, I think you sign up for some of that, and then
Yeah.
you realize you get in, you're like, oh no, I'm not built for this.
Yeah, our fans like to give it to them, that's for sure, which is great. Hopefully they can get in their heads a little bit and help us out.
I love the chants after a goal is scored.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because, at the end of it they say, "Hey goalie, you suck."
Yeah.
And and Ellie, my little 3-year-old, she turns to me, she goes, "Dad, that's not nice."
I know.
And I go, "Well, it happens."
I know. We have mixed messages on that because it's a tradition, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Well, that's rude," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's hockey.
It's
like,
funny.
it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
rude. It's
Yeah.
not rude.
In that setting, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to expect it. It's hockey. You chirp each other. That's the way it is.
100%.
The boys do it. Like,
If you're getting smacked into the
Jaw
glass,
back
like,
and
you'll
forth.
be fine.
Right,
A little words won't hurt you.
no.
Okay, so tickets are $10. Once again, the Stars for sure play tonight and tomorrow. Puck drops at 7:05 both of those nights. It also if they need game 3 on Wednesday, let's fingers crossed that they don't. Game 3 on Wednesday will also drop at 7:05 p.m. from the Icebox. I got to ask you comments on Rocky Russo, because obviously friend of the station. Rocky's been in here a couple of times talking about the team. Just talk about in his short couple of years with the organization, he's got them back in the playoffs now.
He does. I mean, he's doing great, and the boys love him. I think the culture's great with him here.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of good things, and he's been great to work with because obviously I'm on the business side, he's on the hockey ops side. So it's everything's really coming together. So he's been a really good addition.
Yeah, Rocky's a really good guy. Come in, you can just hear the passion he has for not only just the sport of hockey in general, but also just to be in Lincoln. And
the
he
fans
talks,
love him too.
yeah, he talks about his like path and his journey from Amarillo or from Texas to coaching the Lincoln Stars, and it's really fun to listen to. Highly recommend that you tune into the Lincoln Stars show every week and listen to Joel and Coach Russo and all those guys that join him. So once again, tickets $10. Where do they go to get some?
You can get them online. We have ticket links out for both days, or you can call the box office, or you can show up at Will Call online and get them there.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect.
So once again, team president of the Lincoln Stars, Lori Crocker, with us. Lori, appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
There she is.
Come out to the Stars.
Yes, come
Get
out
out
to
there.
the Icebox. Go out to the Icebox. Rico's going to try to get there. I'm going to be there tomorrow night.
See if we can get a babysitter.
I'm going to try to get up against the glass, and I'll be the one
Yes.
hitting the glass harder than anybody else in the Icebox tomorrow night.
When people
you
are
guys
hitting
got
the
some
chairs.
tickets. I gave you some tickets.
Yes,
Get some
yes.
winners.
Stick around at after the break. We're going to give away some Stars tickets.
Yes.
So make sure you go on out or stick around and for your chance to win and win a couple tickets to the playoff game. Once again, playoff hockey for $10. It just doesn't get much better than that.
Not a much better deal.
In the day and age where everything is so expensive.
Right.
$10 to go see some playoff hockey, support obviously the Lincoln Stars, and as Lori said, they have alcohol.
Ooh.
So let's go ahead and once again, $10, lincolnstars.com. Head over to their website, stop in at Will Call, or go up to the ticket office at the game and get your $10 tickets as the Stars and Coach Russo face off against the Des Moines Buccaneers, I believe, is their
Yes.
mascot name. The Des Moines Buccaneers
There's
doesn't
no
really
fucking-
make any sense with Iowa,
Get him out of here.
but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Your mascot makes no sense. Leave.
We're
yeah.
done.
And-
We're done
and-
Tuesday. You're out.
Yes, exactly. So once again, $10 tickets. We can't emphasize it enough. Make sure you make your way out to the Icebox. Lori, thanks.
All right. Thank you.
There she is, Lori Crocker, president of the Lincoln Stars, and we'll talk more about that. We're also going to dive into a little bit of spring football action here coming up after the commercial break, and we'll be joined by Steve Mark inside Nebraska to break down his thoughts on not only Husker football, but also Husker basketball recruiting. We'll do all that and more, as well as give away some Stars playoff hockey tickets. Coming up next, it's the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Singert and at Radio Rico AC. All of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70 and Van Dorn. Letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. Turn off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You don't think about your roof, Ayrton, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Despite an increase in cloud cover, we see a beautiful afternoon with a high of around 68. Winds a little breezy out of the south at around 15 to 20. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of around 41. It'll be slightly cooler tomorrow. Still breezy, southeast winds gusting over 20 with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Brian for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit line. 1-800-QUIT-NOW. 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the show. Thanks again to Lincoln Stars president Lori Crocker for joining us a little bit ago, as the Stars have a playoff game going up tonight against the Des Moines Buccaneers. Puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and so make sure you make your way out to the ice box. It's game one of a 3-game series, so hopefully the Stars can just go ahead and close it down in the first 2 games tonight and tomorrow. But once again, it's $10 for a ticket. They have alcohol. They have beer, more importantly.
They have really good popcorn.
They have great popcorn. They have great pizza. They have great concession food out there for the Lincoln Stars, and so they'll face off against Des Moines. So obviously you've heard Coach Rocky Russo and Cameron Whitehead, the goalie, and Mason Marcellus, as well, in addition to Lori Crocker on the shows on the ticket. So make sure you make your way out to the ice box, which is a great atmosphere in the USHL. To cheer on the Lincoln Stars. Now, it's time to turn our attention to the Huskers, as we are joined by Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. Steve, happy Monday. What's up?
Hey, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, how was the weekend, Steve? Are we recovering after all of our keyboard fingers, or how are we feeling, Steve?
Yeah, there was a lot of writing going on, but that's to be expected with something as epic as the Nebraska football spring scrimmage, annual spring scrimmage. But yeah, I'm recuperating and
good stuff.
Now just starting the week off with more content. So head over to Inside Nebraska and read and watch all of it.
Are you glad that you're not starting your week off like Colorado?
Yeah. I've been following along with that. That's I guess. Some people could look at that and not be surprised. You could throw me in that category. But yeah, I mean, it's not really looking great over there in Boulder. So interested to see how that whole thing turns out.
Well, I guess putting a Nebraska spin on it. I mean, Steve, are you surprised that we haven't heard of anybody leaving the program yet?
No,
okay.
I'm not. There's still, I think, 6 days. April 30th is when the spring transfer window closes. And, if you listen to Matt Rule after the game, he said he really wanted to make it a point to meet with every single member of the team for some exit interviews. And he'd be doing that Sunday and today. So there's going to be some hard talks in some of those exit meetings. And I think a lot of guys are going to get a better idea of where they sit in the program and where they would play if the game started today, which is what Rule said. So a lot of guys are going to be getting some information that will help them, I guess, make their decision on their futures for sure. But no, I think April 30th is when the transfer window closes. So there's still some time. And, thinking about this whole thing, I'm sure some players already had their minds made up going before the spring game of what they were going to do. And now it's just a matter of time with how the university wants to kind of release the names and do it that way. So, but like I said, still six days left with this transfer portal window being open. So that's plenty of time in my mind.
Do you see now, Steve, Nebraska going below the 85 and looking to bring some other transfer targets in, or just right down to the 85 just to fit that limit?
It's a good question. I would think that maybe they would cut down their numbers like they normally would, like they have a plan to do but then also keep an eye on the transfer portal itself, because if there's maybe let's just, for example, if there's a offensive lineman, a tackle who's out there who has a little bit of playing experience and the staff thinks that they could help out the offensive line room at Nebraska, I think they go after somebody like that. Or if there's an interior defensive lineman who has some experience, but could come into the defensive line room at Nebraska and be a rotation guy, not be a starter or anything like that, but just go in and maybe give them 10, 15 quality snaps every game. I think they go and get somebody like that. So I think they do their business how they were always going to do it, but also always keep an eye on that transfer portal, because you never know who's going to pop in there. So I think they're always, this staff especially is always on the look to get better at every position. And I don't think that's going to stop right now.
We're joined by Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, you wrote an article on the Rivals site just a little under 24 hours ago. It was published, that says through 15 practices, Matt Rule has a plan and there's buy-in. I think that buy-in part is a really fascinating discussion point. Talk a little bit more about that and just what we've seen from Matt Rule since November. And now that spring ball is completed for the most part, right? The practice portion, the on the field portion is completed for the most part. What are your just generalized thoughts over Matt Rule in this first couple months of his tenure?
Well, just looking at this whole program from the outside and talking to the coaches and talking to some of the players and just gauging how they view everything going on. It just seems, and it just struck me when I was writing that, it struck me that there's just a plan in place. And I don't know if it was like that in years prior here at Nebraska. And it's a good plan, I feel. And everything, the thing that I really like about with Matt Rule and his operation here is everybody is pulling the same direction. Everybody has the same goal, and at the end. And I just think that, when you see from everything, like little stuff, like the social media videos, what's shown in there, to the pictures that the team releases, all the way down to, what the assistants are saying in their press conferences, what the players are saying in their press conferences. Oftentimes, a lot of the same words are used. It just seems like everybody is in lock and step, right? Everybody is going in the same direction. They all know what the end goal is. And I just really appreciate that. And again, I didn't really feel like that with Frost here. And I'm feeling it right now with Matt Rule. I just think he knows what he's doing. He's done this 2 times already at Temple and Baylor, and he's going back for a 3rd time in college. And I just have a good feeling about this whole thing. And so I just wanted to write after viewing 15 spring practice, not viewing, just being around the program for these 15 spring practices and learning about these coaches and learning about these players and learning about the new systems and everything. There's a plan in place, and I think everybody is following it, and everybody is kind of bought in because it's easy to buy into Matt Rule. He's an excellent salesman. We're gonna learn a lot about this team in the fall. Obviously, doesn't really matter what we see in the spring on the field, but I just think that a lot of people are bought into what Matt Rule is laying down, and that's why he's successful. That's why he was successful at Temple and Baylor, is because he got the people around him to buy in and agree with what he wants to do. And I think that's really cool.
Steve, it's interesting because I completely agree with you on all that front. But I find, I've gotten pushback when I've said that on air from fans going, Nick, don't worry about the social media. We shouldn't be worried about and get caught up in the videos and the photos. We need to see it on Saturdays. I mean, we're sitting here and it's April 24th, and you sit here with that really strong feeling of, I just need to see it on Saturdays. That's fine, but you're going to kind of drive yourself crazy when you kind of get this feeling when you're around this program that it is all going in one direction.
Yeah, and when I say the social media stuff, I mean, so you remember that week when there was so much talk from everybody about Heinrich Haarberg and the position that he was going to play. Is he a quarterback? Is he able to play tight end and play at a high level? Is he even capable of being an edge rusher on defense? I mean, there were several different things being tossed around with Heinrich Haarberg. And then almost immediately, you see the social media team pump out a video of him running a triple option for a touchdown. Or you see a video of him laying out and giving up his body to block Isaac Gifford for one of his teammates running the ball behind him. I mean, everything with the social media department with Matt Rule, I feel like has a purpose. Nothing is random. Everything is shown with a purpose of something. And I just think that that's a trickle down effect from the owner, the CEO of this company that is Nebraska football, and that's Matt Rule. So that's what I meant when I said everything, with the social media team that gets pumped out has a purpose and it has a meaning. Nothing is by accident. And I just really think that's actually a cool thing coming from a CEO type, hands-on CEO type coach like Matt Rule. And I don't think it's like that everywhere, but it is here at Nebraska, and I think that's a good thing.
Well, remember, if you flash back to last September, that's what everybody was craving for. It was Nebraska needs a CEO type coach that just just has his pulse on the program and allows his assistants, everybody from support staff to assistant coaches, to do their job and kind of be involved with everything. And that's exactly what Matt Rule is doing.
Yeah, even to go further with everything, like Matt Rule has his hands on literally everything, even to the post-game press conferences, even to the press conferences. Remember on the 6th floor, and this was before spring ball when the press conferences were happening on the 6th floor, the press box area of Memorial Stadium. Usually there were two sets of chairs for the media members to sit on. Well, now there's one set, and it's maybe it was Matt Rule, maybe it wasn't, but that it's just little minor tweaks and changes that Matt Rule shows up and we start seeing more of those tweaks and changes. I don't know. I just think that this is a change for the better with Nebraska, and it seems to me from looking at everything, it seems to me that everybody's kind of lock in step with him and ready to go with him.
Yeah, even in the in Memorial Stadium where we have our press conference conversations with them following practices, there's tape on the floor to tell us, hey, this is where you can't cross this line. It's lava on that side of the line, and you're okay on this side. It's only Matt Rule and coaches and players, and it just kind of gives them space, I suppose. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, Steve. All right, as we look forward now, it's going to be a very important summer for a lot of guys, especially the guys that are still on the roster following the closure of the transfer portal deadline here in 6 days on the 30th or so. When you look at this roster outside of quarterback, because we're going to get to that here in a second, what position group are you curious about the most? What position battle, whether it's who kind of comes away as the number one guy in that group? Where are you looking at on this roster?
Yeah, it'll always be the offensive line for me right now. And, if I didn't want to go offense, I'd go the defensive line on defense. But the offensive line for me just has my attention the most because, like I told you guys before, Jeff Sims looks fantastic at 6'4", 220. He's running over Kane Williams at linebacker. He's throwing darts up the seam to Nate Borkacher. But, if he doesn't have an offensive line in front of him, he's going to get his butt kicked, just like Casey Thompson did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm wondering about is the offensive line. Now, what you like is it's a really big-time veteran group. I mean, there are close to 120 career starts returning up front for Nebraska on its offensive line. That's the good. The bad is what happened last year. They started slow and they got better, I think, as the season went on. But you'd like to see them take that next step to start the season because, the Minnesota Golden Gophers are coming quick, and they are notorious for owning the line of scrimmage and having that mindset that, hey, we're going to run the football right at you. Can you stop it? And I don't know, like Matt Rule, the very first press conference that he had, he talked about owning the line of scrimmage. And that is the offensive line's job to do. And I'm just wondering how that's going to look in late August at Minnesota. So, Teddy Prohaska would be absolutely massive if he could come and be that anchor at left tackle and look like he, I'm sure there's going to be some rust that he needs to shake off, but if he can come down and nail down that left tackle spot, you might slide somebody like Turner Corcoran down to left guard. You have Ben Scott at center. You have maybe a position battle at right guard between Nuri Nueli, Ethan Piper, and then right tackle Bryce Benhart, who Matt Rule is obviously really high on and really wanting to pump up through confidence. So yeah, the offensive line is just big. You love the career starts returning, but again, when you watch the tape from last year, you know, there are several areas that need to get better, and the offensive line is one of them. And I'm just curious to see, you know, what that looks like, because if they do take a step forward, that just makes everything else better. That makes the running game better. That makes Jeff Sims or Casey Thompson or whoever's going to play quarterback, that makes their lives better too. So I'll be interested in the offensive line for sure.
We're talking to Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, a couple more before we go ahead and let you go. You mentioned the quarterbacks. I think obviously a lot of eyes are going to be turned towards the quarterback room during this summer, and especially during these next 6 days, because you do expect some attrition there. They have 6 guys in the room. We know the previous staff has always carried 5 scholarship quarterbacks in that quarterback room, but now they have 6. The staff, I mean, everybody knows they brought in Jeff Sims, Casey Thompson injured for spring ball. I mean, where are you sitting at? I feel like we ask you this every Monday, but where are you sitting at with this quarterback room? Because did Jeff Sims impress Husker fans and more, you know, the staff enough during this spring to say, yeah, we're fully confident in Jeff Sims taking the reins on this?
Yeah, sticking with Sims, I really liked what I saw from him on Saturday. I think he was accurate with the ball. We obviously saw his athletic ability, his athleticism, kind of spinning around and escaping some pocket pressure. I mean, that stuff looked great. And, you know, it's just such a hard conversation to have when Casey Thompson isn't out there practicing right next to him. But you have to believe that somebody like Casey Thompson, his veteran presence, his football IQ. I mean, the guy is basically an assistant coach right now at his position. He's got the mind for it. I do believe that Casey Thompson can kind of take a spring off, step right in at fall camp and be a legit contender. I really do believe that without playing at all in the spring. I think he has a lot of things that Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rule would really appreciate kind of up top between on top of his shoulders. So, but yeah, when you look at other quarterbacks in the room, Chubba Purdy, Richard Torres, Logan Smothers, it's a hard conversation to have because, you know, we saw Chubba Purdy last year. It did not look good. He played through some injuries. Saturday was really the first kind of opportunity we saw Richard Torres, big kid, big arm. I think he's more of a pocket passing guy. And then Logan Smothers, we know what he brings, but again, he wasn't here at all during the spring. So yeah, I think 1 or 2 of those guys are going to be entering the portal. I don't know which ones at all, but yeah, I mean, there's some decisions to be made at quarterback, especially. But you know, sticking back to what we saw on Saturday, I really liked what I saw from Jeff Sims. It was good to see him get out there, complete that pass on that seam to Nate Borkature and complete another kind of, I think it was a 5 or 10 yard out three man route. And he fired really rocket with some solid protection in front of him. So good stuff from Jeff Sims. Again, I don't think he won the job at all because Casey Thompson will obviously have something to say about that in fall camp, I think. But yeah, decisions to be made for sure with the rest of the guys.
All right, Steve, we got to switch over to basketball really quickly because there's action. There's the action that's been had with Fred Hoiberg and his team. Obviously, Javion McCollum unfortunately goes to Oklahoma, picks the Sooners last week over Nebraska. Now, yesterday it comes out that Latrell Wrightsell is going to play for Nate Oates at Alabama. And so that kind of leaves Nebraska with a couple guys. Obviously, Josiah Alec is visited Nebraska over the weekend. And you and I, as we were talking pregame against or for the spring game on the sidelines, we saw Hunter Salas just a couple yards away from us as well. So, I mean, where's Nebraska at and where's kind of your confidence overall, I suppose, on Hunter Salas, Josiah Alec, and really, I mean, just Husker basketball as a whole?
Yeah, so we can stick with Salas. And by the way, Hunter Salas looks excellent. Saw him on the sideline. We all saw him on the sideline at the spring game. He looks really, really good. And he looked good in a Husker jersey. But for that to happen, I think Nebraska, Fred Hoiberg and company are going to have to beat some other programs to land him. And it's not going to be hard. You know, I know that Hunter Salas went to Wake Forest, officially visited them. And you know, anything about Wake Forest. I know the head coach over there, Steve Forbes, is really well respected, and a lot of guys like playing for Steve Forbes. He's a good head coach too. So it's not going to be easy to land Hunter Salas, but I think as of right now, they laid out the red carpet. They did everything they needed to do for Hunter Salas. It's just kind of balls in his court, and he needs to make a decision now. So I don't have any inside information on where Nebraska lands with him, but obviously he would be a massive get. Latrell Whitesell with Alabama, that one kind of surprised me because we had heard rumblings at Rivals that the Crimson Tide were going to take another transfer guard, Eric Estrada, a transfer from Hofstra. So they got him, and then all of a sudden they landed Latrell Whitesell Jr. also. So Nate Oates apparently wants all the transfer guards. Nobody else can have any transfer guards. So that one surprised me a little bit. But Josiah Alec, I like the Huskers' chances with him too.
Gotcha.
Just kind of a big guy. He's got a different game than Rink Mass. For sure. I don't think Josiah is really an outside threat, but he can do some damage on the block. So that would be just another big body at 6'8", 240, 235 pounds, who has some good time playing this big playing experience at New Mexico, and then for Kansas City 3 years before that. So that's a little bit where I'm coming from with Nebraska basketball. But getting back to Salas, it's going to be hard. Going to be hard, guys, to land him. A lot of guys do.
It's not panic time if Nebraska doesn't get Hunter Salas, right? Because I think a lot of Husker fans will sit there and go, man, Nebraska had a chance at McCollum from the Siena transfer, had a chance at Wrightsell, and had a chance at Hunter Salas. Two of those guys, not to mention our hometown or home state kids. It's going to be a little disappointing, I think.
No, I mean, you're right, Nick. It will be disappointing, but is it the end of the world? No. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't think so. I think, Fred Hoiberg, he has a plan, and obviously it would be good to get some of these local guys to come back and play for the home state team. But that sometimes life isn't easy, and it doesn't go your way. College basketball is a tough business, and the transfer portal is proving to be absolutely nuts. I mean, we think it's nuts with college football.
Yeah.
College basketball, it's nuts too. So, no, I don't think it'd be time to press a panic button, but I'm not going to argue with anybody who wants to do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because you talk about the transfer portal. 2 Colorado players at 125. So 20. We've been on this call for about 20 minutes, and 2 more guys entered the portal at 1:25 p.m. from the University of Colorado. So just craziness over there in Boulder, Steve.
Yeah, I saw the leading rusher from last year's team with them hit the portal, and his first name was Dion. So I don't know if that was
only one of us can be named Dion.
Dion Smith or something.
They lost their leading rusher from last year, their leading receiver from last year, and their standout receiver from the spring game who had 2 touchdown catches.
Yeah, and you have I also saw on social media the quarterback, Dion's son, Shadur Sanders, who I think is actually pretty good, but he took to Instagram and was saying some things about some of his teammates who have hit the portal, and it's just not a good look when it's like spring practice already, and you have your Jackson State transfer quarterback going on Instagram Live and talking about the guys who have left the team in the portal. It's just like, man, we're just in April. What's going to happen in the fall with these guys, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know, just a lot of drama caused already with these guys.
So I have some stats from the guys who transferred, if you're interested in that.
Absolutely.
They've lost all 4 quarterbacks who threw 20 passes, 3 of 5 running backs, all 9 players targeted, 8 times, all players targeted 8 times, 5 of 8 offensive linemen, and 7 of 8 defensive linemen with 100 snaps. All 4 linebackers with 200 snaps, and 12 of 17 defensive backs with any snaps.
Yeah. Okay. This brings me up to, I think it was earlier this year when one of Colorado's assistant coaches was giving a pump-up speech, and that was shown on social media, and he was doing the sit-up, sit-down thing over and over. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that.
I do.
But I remember quote tweeting, I can't wait until they play Utah and the Utes roll up to 400 yards rushing on these guys and shut them out. I mean, that's going to be beautiful TV. It's going to be must-watch TV. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for that Utah-Colorado game. It's going to be epic.
People forget that Colorado opens the season at TCU.
Yeah. Yeah, about that too.
That's crazy. Lastly, Steve, I mean, just how good are the Cubs?
Oh, well, okay. A little disappointing that they didn't get out of
Yeah.
another series win with the Dodgers. But I agree, Nick. The Cubs are officially good. I have come around on the lineup. You know, the starting pitching is good for the most part.
Yeah.
We need to work on that bullpen a little bit.
Well,
but you know, Cody Bellinger revenge tour. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. All aboard the Cubs train. We're taking passengers.
You
Come
also-
on aboard. I'll let you in. I'll strap you up myself.
You also just needed Jan Gomes not to tackle Drew Smiley, and he'll get a perfect game.
Oh my gosh, I did see that. So I think that happened when the Frank Solich press conference was happening. So I didn't get to see it live, but oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
That was hard. I'm not a Cubs fan, and that was heartbreaking.
Jan Gomes tackled Drew Smiley. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Steve. Hey, we kept you way longer than we expected to. We appreciate it big time, man. Take a much needed break. Any vacations coming up for you?
No.
Perfect.
Yo, you're a new dad, so I guess where are you
No, not
going?
at all.
Where are you going to go? You're a new dad.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
That's
You're
good.
learning quickly, Nick.
How's the kid?
She's excellent. She is a happy 2-month-old baby, and we're enjoying taking her on walks throughout our neighborhood. Have a cool little stroller that like we go in style with, and yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you were speaking like a true dad earlier in the conversation when you said, life isn't always easy. And so you got this dad thing down all right, Steve. You're doing just fine.
You're doing a great job, Steve.
Life isn't easy with Hunter Salas recruitment, and life isn't easy with a 2-month-old little girl. So,
Exactly.
All right.
My little girl is on a scooter by herself now. So yeah, that one hurt the other day when we were walking, and she's like, I'm gonna go this way. And I was like, okay. And she's going, and I'm just watching her. I'm like, dang it.
Oh, did you get Rico tears?
A little bit.
Oh, that's sad. All right, hey,
it's
Steve.
gonna be a game changer when the little daughter starts moving herself.
Yeah.
So I'll have to keep an eye on that when they start like intentionally moving themselves.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
All right, Steve. Hey, appreciate it as always, man. We'll talk to you next Monday. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Rico.
That is Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. Good stuff as always. Cubs are good. Steve's welcoming anybody on our train to the promised land, which is the World Series.
That's okay.
Drew Smiley almost had a perfect game against the Dodgers.
Cubs Yankees World Series.
This show would be unbearable.
If that happens, we're going to Wrigley.
Okay, I guess so. We're going to Wrigley.
Guess we're not going to be able to afford Yankee Stadium tickets.
That's true.
Not like we can afford.
We can afford
not
Wrigley.
Like we can afford Wrigley World Series tickets anyway.
Hey, Nick and Rico, you're outside of Wrigley Field.
Yeah,
that'd
we'll
be
be in
fine.
what's that bar that's like across from
Is it
Wrigleyville?
Well, that's the area.
The area.
The area is
the area.
Wrigleyville.
We'll
So.
just broadcast live from Wrigleyville.
Perfect. We'll get Jake on that. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, Austin's going to join us for this the crossover coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
John Henry's Plumbing.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that, options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We will ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more, or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and Air.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between. Capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality service to count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals, porch pots, and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Attention Lincoln. Looking for an effective way to reach the fitness goals you haven't been able to accomplish on your own? Body Fit Training science-based programming is led by multiple highly accredited coaches who will help you get the results you're capable of. Their group of strength training classes are designed to help you build muscle, burn fat, and improve your overall fitness level. At BFT Lincoln, you'll train like an athlete and be surrounded by motivated and like-minded individuals. For a limited time only, book a free class or exclusive trial offer by visiting bodyfittraining.com.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our team by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, so we made a promise at the end of the first segment.
And we're going to break it.
And we're going to keep it here.
Oh.
You guys got to understand how tough it is sometimes to stay focused with this guy sitting across from me.
Hey. I'm your boss.
Come on, Rico. This is the guy. No, I'm just kidding.
This guy.
This guy's my boss.
You're welcome.
It's time to give away Lincoln Stars tickets. Now, normally we just give away a pair. Normally we give away 2 pair.
Today's a special day.
Today's a special day as we are giving away at this moment, at this specific moment.
Right meow.
We are giving away 4 fours. So 4 groups of 4 tickets. So if you have a family of 4 that wants to go to the Lincoln Stars game tonight, listen to this trivia question. 16 tickets in all.
Or a double date.
Right now. Yeah, a double date works too. Double blind date. You don't know them. They don't know you, but you're going to meet up at the Lincoln Stars Icebox.
Interesting first date.
But you have to drive a 4x4 truck.
Yeah, only 4s.
If you don't have a 4x4, you don't qualify.
Nope. Maybe you could take 3 of your 4-legged friends. I don't know.
Anyway, if you want a chance at winning 4 tickets to the playoff round 1, game 1 tonight at the Icebox, listen up. I need to know, wait, disclaimer, you have to be able to pick up the tickets from our station, 330 North 48th Street, prior to the game tonight.
Today.
We
no takedown for you to get. You pick up here today.
The question is, in the weekend of Frank Solich, what was his record at Nebraska? Send us in a text, 402-464-5685. Send us a text. Send us in a text. Let me finish, Rico, before you make fun of me.
Send a text.
Send a text. What was Frank Solich's record at Nebraska? We'll give it to the first 4 texters receive 4 tickets. The first 4 texters receive 4 tickets. Dirty Tony and the boys. That's 1.
Uno.
There's 1. 3. Waterboy. You
2.
win it. That's 2.
Houston, you're close.
Very close. Aaron, congratulations. And unnamed texter. There it is. Rico, you gotta hold us. Dirty Tony and the boys, Waterboy, Aaron, and unnamed texter. You guys get it correct with 58-19 was Frank Solich's record. So just text us in once again. Make sure you can go to the Stars game tonight. Pretty good seats actually for the game against the Des Moines Buccaneers. We just gave away 16 playoff hockey tickets for the Icebox tonight. That's pretty awesome. So stay tuned the next couple of days, and huge shout out to everyone involved in the Lincoln Stars, especially the president, Lori Crocker, who was on the show at the top of the hour for providing some tickets for our listeners, obviously, and for us to be able to go to some Stars games. So once again, playoff hockey can't get any better than that. So congrats to Dirty Tony and the boys, Waterboy, Aaron, and unnamed texter, who we're getting your name currently.
Peace and thank you.
Okay, cool. So there it is. Austin, hello.
Hi. Hello.
How's it going?
It's great. Things are dandy.
How was the weekend?
Busy but good. Had pregame, obviously.
Yeah.
Tina's fun time.
That was your first time. That was
one.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That was your first time being out there with us. It's a good time out there, Tipsy Tina's.
It was a blast.
Yeah. Wish it was a little warmer though.
Don't worry, it will be.
It will be warmer.
But then we'll be at our new place.
Well, also, yeah, exactly. We'll be at our new place. That's gonna be pretty sweet once we get to our new digs. Nice, Rico.
Jinx,
that's
yummy Coke.
That's why we're co-hosts.
Yep.
No other reason at all. All right, Austin. So
I don't even like you.
I want to talk about NBA playoffs real quickly because
I know just as much about the NBA as Strick does. So you talked to the right guy.
perfect. That's why you guys do a show together. Yeah. There's methods to our madness.
He is Strick. Just shorter.
Oh, wait. Aaron cannot go.
Aaron, you son of a gun.
So we have one more group of tickets available. So Houston, if you ask again or answer again.
What was the number?
I said it out loud. It's all good, Aaron.
Or we could change the question.
No, we can't.
We can.
There it is, Houston.
Hey!
Houston. All right. That's all right. There it is. Anyway,
Oh, Drew.
Sorry, Drew.
Just 2
Too
seconds.
late.
You know
Too
what?
late.
You know what? Should we
Don't-
give him to Drew?
I don't know.
Let's give it to Drew.
Sorry, Houston.
Here's
You're out.
Drew's
No,
first guess.
Houston and Drew.
Houston, Andrew.
We'll give away another pair of 4. Another group
Another
of 4.
pair of 4.
Another group of 4.
All right, you're making
don't-
an executive decision.
I'll make the executive decision. I'll give away the group of 4. That's just one fewer that you guys can give away on the block.
How many do we get to give away on the block?
Now 3, apparently.
There's over there.
3?
They're
Okay.
just over there. So congrats, Drew. You win a group of 4 tickets, Drew. Congratulations. We'll get your information here. So Houston, Drew, Juan, Waterboy, and Dirty Tony and the boys.
There you go.
Just like that. All right, cool. That was fun.
Look at
Anyway,
us doing our
all right,
job.
NBA
Pack the
playoffs.
icebox.
Back to NBA.
Why are the Knicks so great?
Well, here's what I was gonna say. Steph Curry is extremely lucky that
Almost
the
had a
Kings,
Chris Webber moment.
because
Chris
so
Webber.
it was funny because Doris Burke said it on the broadcast like not even 13 seconds before, saying, listen, like we're starting to see a team that's used to the playoffs and a team that's not used to the playoffs. And so in that moment, Steph Curry then calls a timeout and gets whistled for a technical because of not being aware of the situation. Boop. It's insane. It's crazy. Also, De'Aaron Fox, legit.
Oh, yeah. He's that dude.
Sabonis playing very physical.
Do we give Doris credit for a broadcaster's jinx, or is that just a brain fart by
No,
Steph?
no, it's a brain fart. Shout out to Doris Burke. She does a great job.
Yeah, Doris does a really good job on the broadcast.
Did you hear her talking about Dylan Brooks?
I did not. What did she say about Dylan Brooks?
She pretty much said, I don't know the exact quote, but she pretty much said that Dylan Brooks is going to act his way off of the Memphis Grizzlies and probably out of the NBA because he's not an elite shooter. He's not an elite defender. And his antics are getting in the way of Memphis trying to make a playoff run.
Isn't he just the wing-sized version of Patrick Beverly, though?
He's not. Patrick Beverly's actually a pretty good defender.
I was gonna say he's got a strong
Dylan
part
Brooks
of
is
his
a solid defender.
But is he
Patrick
a
Bev
good enough defender to warrant the antics? Patrick Beverly is.
I was gonna say Patrick Bev is like known league wide for being a quality defender,
but he's also a good guy. Like people,
But
like
a pain in the butt.
off the court, people don't mind Patrick.
Yeah,
Beverly.
Dylan Brooks out there going, I'm not going to respect you until you put 40 on me, to one of the best players to ever play the game.
Yeah.
That's
Patrick Beverly's never pushed a cameraman over.
The thing about Dylan Brooks, and we see this with, I think, a lot of NFL wide receivers, is they are there to play a role. There are so few superstar wide receivers and so few superstar wings that are Dylan Brooks' size. If you would tone the ego down about 10%, he could stick in the NBA as long as he wants. Because he's an adequate defender, good enough on the second side, serviceable. He can play a role.
Yep.
But it's when the attitude and the ego start to outweigh the production that you play yourself out of the league. We saw that with Antonio Brown, who refused to fade into the spotlight, stuff like that. Even Russell Westbrook to some degree. Cede a little bit of your ego, and you can stick in the league for another 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys just either refuse to do it, don't know how to do it, or haven't been coached how to do it. And it's sad because these are some of the best athletes in the world that if they would just back off 10%, they could extend their career.
Dylan Brooks wants to be Draymond Green, but he's not as good as Draymond Green.
Like that's where it's disappointing with Draymond, unfortunately, is because like it's so difficult for me, speaking personally, it is so difficult for me to, I don't even know if cheer for Draymond or like watch Draymond is the right word, because the antics, they just get so old. They just get so old. The kicking in a groin and then like acting like they just do nothing.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't like. If you're gonna intentionally do something, whatever, man, but then own up to it. Don't sit there and be like, I couldn't help it. I didn't do that. First of all, here at the end of the day, it was intentional that he was it Steven Adams in the groin?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah,
he kicked Steven Adams in the
Twice.
groin. He stomps on Sabonis. Even if, and once again, this is where take away your ego and understand the situation. You're in the playoff game. I don't care if Sabonis grabbed your leg. At that point, they're going to get Draymond Green for it every single time. Every single time, unless they review it and they slow it down. They're like, all right, you know what, Demonis, he grabbed his leg.
Well, they did.
It's his fault.
They did
and they
review
did,
it,
and they
were
ended up
just like,
getting him.
yeah,
They ended up giving a flagrant or whatever. But it's like they're always going to catch the person that retaliates.
And also, as a player, if you're not Draymond Green and you're going up against him, you know you can get under his skin real quick.
Oh,
real quick. And you use that to your advantage.
It's unfortunate in some degrees because it'd be so nice to be able to separate the antics from the basketball. Because I appreciate Draymond Green, the basketball player.
100%.
The way that he plays defense, the way he functions as a hub for the Warriors.
He made some
offense
great
without a jump
defensive
shot.
plays later in the stretch yesterday.
He's got a fantastic mind for the game. Like, he's a great post-game
Yeah.
interview, breaking stuff down.
Yeah.
That's why he's
But then he kicks people in the nuts.
Yep.
And then he complains about nothing. Like, dude, I want to root for you because you would be one of the greatest success stories in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, second round draft pick, undersized, undervalued.
Yep.
You get thrown into this, lineup of death and you're the odd man out and you find a role for 10 years.
Yeah.
But then you kick someone in the nuts again.
Yep.
Just stop.
And you step on
please.
someone's chest and you do this and you do that. And it's one thing on top of the other. But I was saying this to Sipple and Jake earlier today that Draymond has turned these antics, as his career, as his 3-point shot started fading away, you started noticing it more with Draymond. And I believe he's turned this into a, even if my basketball career ends up going away, whenever that happens, people are going to remember me for this. And that's how he's parlayed it into podcasts and into, being on other people's shows and at some, being on inside the NBA when they're not in the playoffs or when they get eliminated from the playoffs. And he's probably going to be there once he retires. He's going to be an analyst once he retires, wherever he decides to go. Because like you said, he's a brilliant basketball mind. So he's turned his off the court, even on the court antics into off the court success.
The authenticity is something that I go back and forth with these guys because on the one hand, I think Draymond really is about that. For the most
I think
part.
so
I
too.
think he's about that smoke. I think Dylan Brooks wants to be about that smoke. But at some points, their authenticity is what makes them great, but it's also what holds them back.
Mm-hmm.
If they would be able to pick and choose their spots to be authentic and then to let stuff go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are all NBA players right there. But it's the fact that they are so true to themselves that you have to respect it. But at the same time, it gets old real quick.
Well, I would ask that.
Dylan Brooks isn't about that.
Is that he wants to be?
That whole Memphis team wants to be.
Yeah.
Bro, you went to Eugene, Oregon. You are not about that life.
Also, let me just say, Coach K was right 7 years early. Everyone else is finally coming around to it on Dylan Brooks.
Okay. Thank you.
You did say
is that, I'll ask you guys then, because you guys will know more about the NBA than I do. Is that a tribute to what the NBA is, how the game has progressed now to where it's a little more individual and it's ego plays a part in that, of that they feel like they got to carve out their own ego? And
I feel like that's always been a part of the ego and
there's always
doing
been guys,
things.
but I mean, we're talking at a whole new level.
No, I think it's just more out there because of social media and because of all of this going on, and there's more focus on the NBA playoffs and certain players. So I don't think this is anything new. I think that some players are playing it up more, but I don't think this is new.
And is that an NBA thing or a societal thing?
Oh, there you go. Then maybe that was a better way to phrase it. I mean, because we get a text on the text line. If you think Draymond is not successful in the NBA right now, you're wrong. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying it's obviously he is to a certain extent because number one, we're talking about him, and number two, whether it's the regular season or the play-in or the playoffs, he's a part of it. He's been in it. He's been a staple in that Warriors team, in that locker room. Now he's looking like a veteran. Obviously he is a veteran, but now he's one of those guys that it's like, all right, he's withstood changes around the locker room, roster changes. And when he's also not like the best scorer, he's in the, I don't want to say the shadow, but he's figured out a way to keep his name prevalent and in conversations. When you have the Splash Brothers of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, when you had the promised excitement of James Wiseman after he was drafted, and like
Jordan Poole's
the addition of Jordan, Jordan Poole's emergence, the addition of an Andrew Wiggins from Minnesota, like you had you figured out a way, and give him credit, through Iguodala even, who was the defensive or the finals MVP. Like, you still found a way to keep your name in the conversation.
Draymond is the poster child for looking beyond the box score, because he'll put up that triple single.
Yeah,
but he's going to lock down the best player on the court when it matters the most.
Yeah, exactly. So
how cool would it have been for Harrison Barnes to hit that shot?
Oh man,
Like, just imagine to go into the Bay Area, go back home,
That would have been
Harrison
That
Barnes
was-
is a lot more valuable to that Kings team also than people give him credit for.
I made fun of the signing. Harrison Barnes, when they signed Harrison Barnes, I was like, okay,
I'm not
what's
gonna lie,
Barnes gonna do?
that Kings team is fun.
It is.
It is really fun. Like Sabonis is obviously their main playmaker, but it also is like one of those things where it's like, all right, De'Aaron Fox, dude, you had 38 last night. You just take over and give the Warriors credit on the last second play. They did a great job of bumping him and forcing him to give up the rock. De'Aaron Fox also made the right decision there to give up the ball.
Yeah.
Well, you
in
never
that
get,
moment.
you never get a better shot
No,
than that.
and Harrison Barnes,
yeah.
it was online. It just hit off back iron.
Sometimes you don't hit the shot.
Yeah. So
all
all
it
right,
is.
we got about a minute left here. What a show!
I'm
What a
sure
way
RJ
to
Barrett.
what a way to kick off a Monday,
Hit
huh?
those
We had Lincoln Stars team president Lori Crocker on in the first segment. Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska gave us his thoughts on Husker football and basketball recruiting, as Nebraska obviously missed out on Latrell Wright-Sell Jr., missed out on Javion McCollum last week. So they're still in the play for Hunter Salas and Josiah Alec. And according to Steve, feel good about Alec. Don't really know. I think it's going to be tough to land Hunter Salas, unfortunately, if you're a Husker fan. If you missed any of the show, check it out on the podcast page. Shout out again to our 4 winners, because Drew Carr is not going to go.
Yep.
Shout out to our 4 winners of the tickets. Make sure you stop by our station. They'll be waiting for you at the front desk. But that'll do it for the happy hour. Stick around. On the Block coming up shortly right here, 93.7 The Ticket.
Adios.